Welcome to Old Folks Racing PS4. I am not your French commentator. Your French commentator has actually drank a little bit too much champagne following race 1 and Kev Allen's victory. And he has passed out, and I was asked at the last minute to provide the commentary for this race. Pole position for Andy Booth here, race 2, round 52 of the championship, followed by Paul and Simon Allen, Diogo Silva, Darren Head, Scott Davely, Stuart Brand, and Kev Allen, only 8. He has also drank a little bit too much champagne as we now go for the start, and a great start by Paul. Paul, in that BTT nickname, has actually got the lead temporarily, but he's already been overtaken by Andy Booth and is now under threat from Simon Allen. Will we see more action in this treacherous descent? Yes, we almost saw Simon Allen colliding with Paul there, but they managed to behave in the end. Diogo Silva also making a good start, being challenged by Darren Head, and already Andy Booth disappearing into the lead of this race as we are now approaching the hairpin, and here comes Scott Davely on Diogo Silva. Oh! Scott Davely and Diogo Silva have collided. Diogo now trying to recover, hits Todd Antonio, all sorts of carnage in the Virage du Nouveau Monde, the corner of the New World, the hairpin here at Rouen circuit, as Diogo gets delayed and some people taking the grass section in there, as we are still in the first lap with a lot of action already happening. Simon Allen has taken the lead, but now being challenged by Darren Head, who actually overtook a couple of drivers, and Andy Booth actually made a mistake out of that hairpin because he has moved from the lead into third place. Paul is in fourth, and we have already quite a nice battle for the lead here in Rouen as we get into this really fast section. Nice side-by-side racing there between the two leaders. As we continue to run side by side, I guess this will continue until we have a breaking point, which is, I think, around here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see who is going to brake late. Yes, this is the 3-lane road that is going to lead into this heavy breaking point. Darren Head is going to go ahead, so to speak, of the other two drivers. So Darren Head takes the lead, and he's now headed into the last corner and is going to lead the first lap here at Rouen, with Simon Allen and Andy Booth following very, very, very closely, as we have now a 3-way battle for the leads here in race 2. Of course, the championship is already decided, but there is still quite a lot of things to decide. There's Darren Head and Simon Allen, and Darren Head has gone out, and so has Simon Allen, and Andy Booth just says thank you. But look at the recovery of all these drivers. They crash, and then as in pure magic, they all go back almost to the same positions. No one has actually lost the top 3 position that they had, as it was only a minor crash. And now here comes Darren Head being challenged by Simon Allen at the hairpin. Not quite, and a mistake there at the exit. Darren Head just run wide into the grass. It's very, very slippery grass here at Rouen, as the drivers battle with the constant need to use these runoff areas because the track is just a little bit too narrow in some places. And who's really liking this battle is Andy Booth, because he's already 1.5 seconds ahead of this pair of Darren Head and Simon Allen, as we continue to see a nice battle for second place there. We are already in lap 2 out of 10. Let's see what has happened with some of the drivers that are a bit further back. So Stuart Brand incredibly is in fourth place. It was a really good start, and really keeping it in one piece, pointing the right direction in the black star. Stuart doing a nice job there. Fifth is Jambo. He missed race 1 because of a connection issue, so we now have 12 drivers instead of 11. 6 is Scott Davely and 7 is Diogo Silva, and of course Scott and Diogo collided on the first lap on what looked a little bit like payback from Scott from race 1, as it was in race 1 that Diogo outbraked himself and really took Scott out. Now it's basically Scott returning the favor, as it were, because at the hairpin it really looked like he has locked up slightly and couldn't stop in time and really just hit Diogo on the back, leading him into a spin. But nice battle. Well, the battle for second place really has turned out to be a battle for the lead now, as Andy Booth has lost time and now has been really challenged by Darren Head. And here comes Simon Allen again on the hairpin, but not quite close enough to make a move. As we see a nice, and here comes Simon again. Simon and Darren is having problems. He's having problems at the exit of the hairpin. He really can put his horsepower on the ground, and in 2 consecutive laps he has lost the position to Simon Allen, who has now recovered to second. It doesn't really matter anymore for Simon Allen's championship hopes, because they are over. Kev Allen has won the championship by winning race 1, whilst Simon Allen could only manage 5th. But Simon really has something to prove here, and he's trying to prove it by winning race 2. Let's see if he can do that. Andy Booth, of course, is an incredible opponent, very, very quick driver. We missed him a few rounds when he was away, but he's now back, and he's really saying to everyone that I'm back, I'm here, and I'm still able to lead and win races. Of course, he finished second in race 1, as we now see the 2 friends of Rouen circuit, that is Scott Davely and Diogo Silva, running side by side into the breaking point at the Virage de la Syrie. Let's see who is going to get it. Diogo is on the outside, Scott is on the inside. This didn't go very well in race 1 because Diogo outbraked himself, but now he doesn't, and neither does Scott, and they both survive to fight another day but keep the same position. Scott Davely in 6th and Diogo Silva in 7th. Now, we haven't seen this, but Paul Beatty, and yes, I finally managed to look up his surname. I'm sorry, Paul, for taking so long, but you're very welcome here in the Old Folks Racing PS4, and we hope to see you every weekend from now on Friday nights. Now, Paul was doing a good job. He qualified quite well, actually, and briefly he was in the lead of the race just before the first corner, and certainly was in the top 4 for most of the first 2 laps, but he is now and that's Diogo Silva spinning at Virage 6 Frères, and he's in the middle of the track now. He managed to carnage again. Diogo Silva, it wasn't his fault, he just spun. He was trying to get out of the way, as we now see. Oh dear, that was Andy Booth stopping the car on the roadside. It looked like he wanted to pee or something, just going for a quick pee, but in the process losing the lead and also losing second. So Simon Allen in the 11 black and white for Escort is in the lead now. Darren Head continues to battle for the lead, and Andy Booth now back into 3rd, but these 3 really nose to tail. You couldn't put a blanket over these guys as they continue to battle. We are already on lap 4, and has been 4 laps of side-by-side racing. Here comes Darren Head on Simon Allen. Simon has made a small mistake at the exit of that corner, and now is vulnerable because Darren Head is going to go on the inside. Still on the fast section. We are not yet in the breaking point, but I think Darren Head has got the job done unless Simon Allen can go back at him. Yes, Darren Head has completed the pass, and now is Simon Allen going back at him. Now Darren has left the inside unprotected, and here comes Simon Allen again. He has taken the lead already. And here comes Andy Booth trying to overtake both of them. Can he do it? Andy Booth on the inside. An amazing maneuver by Andy Booth, but didn't really achieve. No, he did get the pass there. Sorry, because they're running white liveries, both of them. I thought that Andy didn't go through, but he certainly has, and he has taken second place again in that 49. Green and white for Escort as these three Escorts continue to go side by side into this Rouen les Essarts circuit as we complete another lap. And Andy Booth is now defending like hell from Simon Allen, and these two are battling and losing time, and Darren Head is using that to build a little bit of a breathing space as we are already in lap 5. It's the 5th out of 10 laps, so we are reaching quite quickly the midpoint of this race. And really, I don't know who's going to win this, because these three are completely nose to tail now, braking again for the hairpin. Will we see any action? Not quite, except that Darren Head has again made a small mistake at the exit. He keeps losing time, and now here comes Andy Booth. Andy Booth is coming. Andy Booth is coming back into the lead that he lost a lap ago, as he is going to try now for the inside into this braking point. Can he do it? Not quite, but there's another heavier braking point coming up here. It looks almost like a carbon copy of the previous corner, but it is a slightly heavier braking point. It's this corner over here as they all keep their positions, and in fact Andy made a small mistake, and here comes Simon Allen. Simon Allen is not happy with third, and he's going back at Andy Booth trying to get second. Amazing run by these three drivers, as Stuart Brand has already lost many seconds. He's almost 8 seconds behind these groups, so I think we have a three-way battle for the lead, and I think these three drivers, if they don't make any mistake or have any technical problem, they are going to be the ones ending up on the podium here in round 52 of Old Folks Racing. But in which order? Which order? We don't know, and it will take us 5 laps to find out who is going to be the winner. There is not much to battle in terms of point standings, because Kev Allen is in first, Simon Allen is in second, and Diogo Silva has also secured third. Andy Booth, I think, has secured fourth, and here comes Jumbo on Stuart Brand. So this is the battle for fourth place. They are around 8 seconds behind the leading pack, but Jumbo making a good move in there, as now Andy Booth into the start-finish line is going to try to make a move on Darren Head. Here we are at the midpoint of the race as Darren Head leads that lap just, but here comes Andy Booth on the inside. Darren defends, just shuts the door on Andy, and shutting the door, he's lost it slightly. He's lost it. He's in the grass, he's in the track, he's in the grass, he's in the track, but he keeps it in one piece for now. And Andy Booth was a bit cautious there. He didn't want to crash into Darren Head, and while doing that, here comes Simon Allen now returning to the battle for second place as he's go on the outside of this corner, but it becomes the inside of a very heavy braking point for the hairpin. Will we see any action? Oh, we're seeing action, because Darren Head has lost it. He doesn't like this hairpin. He doesn't like the exit of this hairpin. He doesn't like the entrance of this hairpin. He doesn't like this hairpin at all, as now he has lost a few seconds and he has lost touch with the leading pack. So a race-defining moment potentially there on the 6th lap at the Virage du Nouveau Monde, as Darren Head has lost it. Very easy for these drivers in this car to lose control of their machines at the braking point, because you just have to be so careful the way you brake, how much you brake, where your car is heading when you brake, and if you don't do it right, it just happens what you saw there with Darren Head. He just lost it, and the car just spins so easily at that braking point. And now Darren has definitely lost touch with this pair, as we are already in lap 6, so 4 laps to go at the end of this one, and I wonder if this has compromised Darren's chances to win this race and take his first ever victory in Old Folks Racing PS4. Instead, we have the old boys, Andy Booth and Simon Allen, fighting it out for the win. Here comes Simon Allen on the inside. Not quite. It was a bit of an ambitious move, and he ended up losing more time than and having a bigger gap than he had to start with, as Andy Booth now starts thinking what he needs to do to win this race and get his 8th victory of the season. And what a return that would be, what a statement it would be from Andy Booth to return to this league and immediately score yet another win. We are already in the end of lap 6. It's lap 7 started. Stuart Brand now has lost a bit of time to Jambu. Jambu is now trying to chase Darren Head. And maybe we are going to see here a battle for third place as I have another sip of wine. Stuart Brand is still in a good top 5 position. He's got 5 seconds advantage over Scott Davely, and and something has happened to Diogo Silva. Something has happened to Diogo Silva because he was in 7th behind Scott Davely, and he has... Oh, of course, it was that moment that we saw a couple of laps ago. Sorry, Diogo, of course, spun on his own and then was hit by other drivers. I think it was Phil that hit him, and possibly Todd Antonio as well. Or Frankie, I don't know. Certainly one or two or three of these drivers, as Phil has taken 7th. Kev Allen is still in hangover mode in that 48, but he ain't no Jimmy Johnson in this race. He's sitting in 8th, trying to chase Phil, which is quite an unusual position for Kev Allen to be on. But of course, it doesn't really matter anymore because he's already clinched the championship. In 2020 in Old Folks Racing PS4. He is the first champion of this league. Of course, the Old Folks Racing League runs separately on the PC platform. That's the politically correct platform, and of course in PS4, much more exciting platform and much more exciting replays, much more exciting commentary. It's really the platform to be if you want to race in Old Folks Racing, as now Kev Allen finally is losing a bit of patience with Phil and is coming right at him as they battle for 7th place here, and a few more points for Kev Allen, but it doesn't really matter, and Phil is trying not to lose too much ground to Stuart Brand. That's one of the only remaining battles to be closed, and I think we are going to go for sure to round 53 and 54, which is the coming Friday. Still open the battle, I think, for 8th place between Stuart Brand and Phil, and Stuart is currently ahead and is also ahead in this particular race, so Phil will be mindful that he doesn't want to lose too much ground to Stuart Brand, and he's trying not to lose too much ground to Kev Allen, but I think Kev has got the job done now and is in 7th. With Phil dropping to 8th. Todd Antonio doing a nice job there in 9th. He finished outside of the points in the first race. Of course, in the coming season, everyone is going to score points, so scoring points in 11th or 12th might be as important as here we have Simon Allen losing it in the hairpin. He lost it in the hairpin. He parked the car quite nicely there. He went for a cup of tea, and now he is back again on the track, so he's got his T pit stop, which is very flexible, can be done anywhere in this Rouen track, but unfortunately if Andy Booth does not make such a stop, and someone is in the grass there, that's Phil, and Phil has actually gone past Kev Allen. I think there was a bit of an unconventional pass there, possibly exceeding track limits, but who cares, as these two now are just battling for fun, I think, as now at Virage de Six Frères, Kev Allen tries to take the 7th position again, but fails to do so, and continues in 8th, but these two are providing some entertainment to the very, very large crowd that came here to Rouen to finally witness some premier motor racing coming back to this circuit. Of course, it has been a while since 1968. We didn't have any sort of like world-class event here at Rouen. Formula One, of course, was here, but eventually it was just a little bit too dangerous for the Formula One machines of the late 1960s. And of course the circuit then wasn't used for a while and now has been revived, fortunately, for the old folks to come and race here in this interesting combo of the 4 Escort 1.6 Racing, combo picked by Stuart Brand, who is currently sitting in 5th. So nice from Stuart to pick up a combo where he's actually quite competitive at the wheel of this for Escort here at Rouen les Essarts. Kev Allen has dropped, well, he has not dropped, he has not been able to really pass Phil as these two continue to have fun. We are already in lap 9, so approaching the end of this race quite quickly, and before you know it, round 52 of this championship will go away, and here comes Kev Allen on the inside. Not quite possible to overtake there by coming from so far behind. It's possible, it's definitely an overtaking spot, as now Stuart Brand has found Jumbo again, and Jumbo must have made some sort of mistake because he's going quite slowly in this initial section of the circuit that is this very long and dangerous and treacherous descent towards the hairpin. Jumbo in the 77, he's doing a Bottas there, and here comes Stuart Brand now for his pit stop, which he wasn't sure whether to park on the right or on the left. It's in France after all, but with the British car it was a bit confusing. He did his pit stop after all on the left, and that led to a little bit too much time lost on that pit stop with that 53, and as a result Scott Davey has moved into 5th place. Of course, Americans tend to not do the pit stops that most of the British drivers are doing here, so slight advantage to the non-British drivers in this event. Kev Allen, he's lost a bit of time. I'm not sure if that was because of his pit stop or not. In any case, probably Phil would have done it as well, so I think Kev's pit stop might just have been a little bit faster than Phil's as they continue to battle for a 7th place. Diogo Silva is up to 9th, and he's managed to pass Todd D'Antonio, but of course Todd still in the points, and Frankie and Paul Beattie also are outside of the points currently. Frankie, a bit more discreet performance after an excellent performance, top 5 performance in the first race, as I have another sip of wine as we enter the last lap of this race. Last lap of the race, and I wonder if Andy Booth is going to win. It seems likely that he's going to win. He's got more than 6 seconds advantage over Simon Allen, with Darren Head now stable in 3rd. Jumbo keeping their 4th position, which would also be quite useful to his point standings. Scott Davey, excellent top 5. Stuart Brand in 6th. Phil and Kev Allen continue to battle, so now positions are a little bit more stabilized in this last lap. Can't really see anything that may happen. I think Stuart Brand might have some ideas coming after Scott Davey. Of course, Stuart was in 4th and then was in 5th, and now he's in 6th place. Not a bad performance, but it's really a story of what could have been here, because he's actually not that far off from a podium position here in Rouen les Essarts. He's actually in visual contact with Darren Head, who is in 3rd, and really Stuart maybe a couple of mistakes ending up harming his performance here at Rouen les Essarts, but he's not done. He's coming after Scott Davey, and we still have a few corners to go, so this may not be over by any means. Is Stuart in that 53 really trying hard to at least recover some ground from Scott. Scott is cautious in this last lap. He's also probably lost any hope of going after Jumbo, as here we have your race leader coming towards the last corner, the corner of paradise, the Virage du Paradis, and it's really paradise for Andy Booth, as he's going to win race 2, round 52 of the championship. Here he comes to take the checkered flag, and put your hands together to clap. An excellent performance by Andy Booth as he gets his 8th victory of the season. There he goes, Andy Booth is your winner of race 2 here at Rouen. Second place for Simon Allen. That not the performance that he wanted, but nevertheless very solid here from Simon Allen. Here comes the Darren Head finishes in third, and here comes Jambo. Scott Davely and Stuart Brand finished 4th, 5th and 6th in what is the closest pack at the moment. Scott Davely excellent top 5. Stuart Brand nice performance, but he's going to be disappointed with that performance. Here comes Phil, and where is Kev Allen? Kev Allen he has lost ground, so something must have happened to Kev Allen. He's now sitting in 10th place as Phil comes to take the checkered flag. Diogo Silva is up to 8th. Todd Antonio getting a couple of points for 9th place. Nice performance there from Todd after a disappointing race in race 1. And Kev Allen is going to have a single point for his efforts here at Rouen. Here comes Diogo Silva. He's not going to be too happy with that 8th place, but you know, bad days, good days, they all balance out. Here comes Todd Antonio in that 45, the distinctive red livery. Here he comes and takes the checkered flag to get 9th. As Kev Allen is running out of fuel. Is Kev Allen out of fuel? Kev Allen, your championship winner, is going very, very slowly, and will this mean that he will lose his point or not? He certainly seems to be either out of fuel or waiting for Frankie. I wonder what is going on here, as this is he going to the pits? Is he going to the pits? Oh, Frankie was almost hitting him, but he does get the position, the 10th place, and Kev Allen ends up in 11th with Paul Beatty in 12th. So 2 drivers outside of the points. Confirmation of the result there, and let's see what this means for the points table after 52 rounds. I think your top 5 or top 6 are stable. I think that Jambo in 6th place might still get to Andy Bramall if he gets 2 wins or something like that. Otherwise the top 6 are relatively stable. Stuart Brand and Phil are the closest pair there, as Scott Davely has also secured 10th place in yet another exciting race here at Rouen Essarts. Thank you for watching and see you next week.